Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing a tier list of Republicans. I did a tier list of Democrat nominees for President 2024. Today I'll be doing a tier list of Republican nominees. The only person I'm not going to be doing is this guy right here because I just don't know who he is. He may be somebody that's prominent. I just don't recognize his face. However, I do recognize everybody else, so I will be doing everybody else. So let's start off with Ben Sasse. Ben Sasse I'll put at a D. Trump's really gone after him. I guess for voting for Donald Trump's removal and voting Trump guilty in his second impeachment. Trump's gone after him, and he would lose a significant amount of Trump's base, and that would hurt him. And that's going to be similar things with other Republicans in these lists, such as Romney, Larry Hogan, other people. Really, it will be broad based. The next one, Kristi, F. Chris Christie would be a terrible candidate for the Republicans. Very little charisma, very unpopular, really, in the entire Republican Party, especially in the Trump base, because they see him as being disloyal. And Chris Christie, not very high. Dan Crenshaw, probably a D. Definitely lost a lot of support among the Trump base, which, as I will repeat multiple times during this video, is very crucial in becoming the Republican nominee and winning the presidency. After what he kind of supported Adam Kinzinger and Liz Cheney, basically saying that they, I guess 90-something% of the time, vote conservatively, really defending them. And obviously that doesn't bode well with the Trump base because they see them as being disloyal and not supporting Trump after he was going through his impeachment. Donald Trump Jr., I'll put him at a B. Obviously he would get the Trump base. He does have a charisma, however, it really is. He kind of comes across as kind of bratty in my mind. I think a lot of people would kind of be disdain from him and not really, look at him in an awe way, like in the sense of awe, and they would just kind of look at him as kind of like a bratty, rich child who doesn't really deserve to be the nominee. I know, we saw that with George W. Bush, although George W. Bush won, but you can see, I guess, parallels with presidents and their sons running here. In the case of Don Jr. Actually, I'll put Don Jr. at C. I'll put him above Dan Crenshaw, though. Donald Trump, I'll put him at an A. Obviously, Donald Trump is electable. He won the presidency in 2016, and he came within a few tens of thousands of votes from winning in 2020. Definitely an electable candidate, and I think that he would be at an A. He's a good candidate for the Republicans. Eric Trump, I'll put him at a C, just above Don Jr. He's not as in the sense that people would look at Don Jr. annoying as him. He's just kind of, and he's not as political as Don Jr. anyway, so I wouldn't really see him running anyway. Ron DeSantis will be an S tier. Ron DeSantis is probably one of very few people in S tier. When you look at the polls, when you look at what he's been able to do in Florida, turning that state around to a very conservative state, where he's now up 9 points in governor race polls, probably will win by double digits in 2022. Very good in head-to-head matchups between him and Biden. You've seen those polls. DeSantis is an S tier. He's very good at articulating Republican platforms. He doesn't have, at least at the moment, he doesn't have that repulsivity of Donald Trump, at least for those people that are like never Trumpers and that are independents that don't really like Trump's tweets. DeSantis, I guess, is more of a level down from that. However, still retaining that conservative ideology and the Trump base. He's an S tier, and he's a very, very electable Republican. Greg Abbott, I'll put in at an A. He definitely does have that Trump support. He has some of that independent support. He's popular in Texas, and he will defeat Beto O'Rourke in the governor race. I don't really know what Beto was thinking running for governor, but nonetheless, this is a presidential tier list. Greg Abbott, I'll put at an A. He's an all right candidate. I mean, he's a good candidate for the Republicans, and he is shown to be a strong conservative, and that will help him get the nomination in the Republican Party, and I think he'll be able to do well. Ivanka Trump, we can just put her at a C with the rest of the Trump kids. Hopefully they don't have Tiffany or Barron up there. But yeah, nothing much to say on there. Josh Hawley, I'll put him at a B. I think he's pretty good for the Republicans. He has that young youth appeal, I guess. He's from Missouri, has a little bit of a Rust Belt appeal, popular among the Trump base. I think he could win. Larry Hogan, I'll put him at a D. He won't win the Trump base, and that'll pretty much cost him the race. However, he does have a chance of getting a lot of independents. He was able to win in a really blue state like Maryland. And I do think Hogan, it would not be as bad as Chris Christie. Mike Pence, I'll put him at a C, above the Trump children. Evangelical, he could get a lot of those a lot of support in North Carolina. However, I just don't see him having the charisma to drive people out to the polls to vote for him in a presidential election, and that is obviously crucial. Mike Pompeo, I'll put at a B, pretty much with Josh Hawley, similar reasons. Popular among the Trump base. He's from Kansas. He has a suburban appeal, similar to, I guess, Glenn Youngkin. And I do think, he's an alright candidate. He's not the best. He's not the worst. B tier. Mitt Romney, F. Mitt Romney would not win a general election. He's disliked by Democrats. He's disliked by Republicans. He's disliked by independents. Nobody really likes Mitt Romney. He's only popular in Utah because he's a Mormon. He wouldn't really have much of a shot. Nikki Haley, I'll put her at a B. She did lose some support among Trump supporters, which is not good, especially if you want to win a general election, which is, from her comments about, I guess, what happened. And I guess people saw her as not supporting Trump after, everything that he did after 2020. And, she's lost support with that. But still a B candidate. Definitely has a great suburban appeal, and I still think she could win over the Trump base if she were the nominee. And the Trump base is crucial to electing anybody to the general election at this point. Rick Scott, I'll put him at a D. Not much charisma. He's from Florida. He's whatever. He's better than Ben Sass and Larry Hogan and winning the presidency, but still a D type of guy. Paul Ryan, a C, from Wisconsin, has a bit more of an appeal. However, just really a generic Republican, and not much to gain there. And in obviously his election with Mitt Romney, he did lose to Barack Obama. Rand Paul, another C. The libertarian wing of the party. The neocons don't really like him. The Trump base somewhat likes him, I guess, when he goes and attacks Fauci. Independents, don't really like Rand Paul. He's a C. Actually, I'll put him at a D. I just don't think he's the best candidate. And he's not charismatic in the sense that he doesn't really inspire people. He kind of just seems a bit bland. Sean Hannity, C, whatever. Marco Rubio, C. A lot of these people are C's. Ted Cruz, B. Ted Cruz kind of comes off as, kind of like he comes across kind of fake sometimes by the way he speaks, and I do think that turns a lot of people off. However, he is, supported in the Trump base. But I just think Cruz's charisma doesn't really help him. He's from Texas. However, he's not even that popular there. Tom Cotton, top of the B. Tom Cotton, I'll put him at the top of the B tier. He's pretty good from Arkansas. He's got a fine amount of charisma, fine support among the Trump base. Not too well known, and I'm not really sure how. I don't really think he'd have a shot at winning the nomination, but if he were to be the nominee, I guess he could be a B tier. I'll also just put John Kasich as an F. John Kasich would not win. He endorsed Joe Biden. That wouldn't really make sense, and it doesn't really make sense as he's on the list, but whatever. Tucker Carlson, I'll put him at a B as well. I think he's good. I think good with the sense that he could drive out a lot of Republicans. I do think he can articulate the Republican position on a lot of issues, and that could help him. And he has that populist appeal similar to Donald Trump. Kristi Noem, C. She lost some appeal after she refused to sign, I believe, a transgender sports bill, and she did lose a lot of support among the Trump conservative base. C tier, I do think she could get a suburban women appeal. However, she's just kind of another generic Republican. Tim Scott, B. I guess he could help with African American support, but yeah, another generic Republican. And then I don't even know who this guy is, so I'll put him at a C. Anyway, this is my tier list of Republican candidates for 2024. I believe Ron DeSantis is the best candidate for Republicans. John Kasich, obviously the worst, because he would get like 10% of the Republicans to come out and vote for him. Same with Kristi, same with Romney. They've pretty much lost their support in the Republican Party. And yeah, this is my list as which Republicans are the best for 2024. With that, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you all. We have finally reached 400 subscribers. At the moment, we're at 404, so we are arduously climbing up until 500, so we're 96 away from 500. Then I can start making community posts. So we are 96 subscribers away from doing that, and obviously I want to make really cool polls and whatnot to release to you guys to vote on. So anyway, with that, please comment below if you agree or disagree with my analysis here. Stay tuned for more videos, like the video, and have a great day. Subscribe to the channel.